Yo, ladies, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? So, in this video, I'm going to talk to you about how players, right? Ladies, men, guys who, get a lot of women, those guys actually appreciate women more. Right? Now, let me explain this, because what happens is that a lot of women, when they hear about a guy being a player, he just wants women for sex and so forth and so on, and he's not going to commit and so forth and so on. All these things. See, this type of thing scares you, but this is what you have to understand. Players appreciate you more because they don't need you. And what I mean by they don't need you, I'm not talking about they don't need you in the sense of they don't need a woman like how, women who say I don't need a man. I'm not talking about that, right? Because we all need each other. I'm talking about they don't need you for their sense of happiness, right? They don't need you to feel like a man. They don't need you to be able to sort of fulfill their ego. You understand? And so because they don't need you, they actually appreciate you more. Let me break this down. Let's say you have two guys. One guy's a player. One guy is, not a player. And not only is he not a player, he has, trouble attracting women, right? Which is, let's say, the average guy has trouble attracting women. So what happens is that the guy who has trouble attracting women, he will feel as if he needs you. Right. So because you have a lot of guys who, because they have a scarcity mindset and they don't have a lot of experience with women, and they don't, have a woman. If they actually get a woman, they're lucky enough to make shit happen with a woman, they become extremely attached to that woman. Right. So this guy who is not the player, or the guy who's the average guy, he might become extremely attached to you, not because he loves you or likes you specifically as a person. He just likes what you represent, because now him having a woman is a big deal to him because he doesn't have women. Right? And so with that comes a lot of neediness, a lot of clinginess, guys being super, overprotective in a situation. And at first, this seems cool because it feels good to have a guy putting you on a pedestal, making you feel special, giving you all this attention, right? But what happens is the reason why he's doing that is because he feels he needs you. So him getting jealous, it's not cute that he's getting jealous. He's getting jealous because he doesn't want to lose you, because he feels like if he loses you, he can't get another woman. See, it's not about you in particular. See, your ego wants you to think it's about you. No, but it's about the idea of him having a woman, because he has a hard time getting women. So now that he got you, he's very protective of the situation. He doesn't want to lose you, because that would mean losing having a woman. You understand? Now, the player, on the other hand, he doesn't have an issue getting women. He knows he can attract multiple women. He knows lots of women thinks he's attractive. So what happens is that for him to actually be consistent with you, right? So let's say that guy, he's, seen a lot of different women. He's been with a lot of different women, and he's choosing to continue to see you because he's interested in who you are, right? Because remember, he doesn't need any woman because he can get lots of women. So he doesn't need the idea of a woman. He, in a lot of cases, gives a shit about who you are, which is why he's consistently seeing you. You understand? Because he doesn't need to see you. He can just replace you with another woman. But the fact that he finds something interesting about you has to do with you specifically, which is why he is consistent with you. So a lot of times, women will be, you ladies will be scared off by a guy who's actually a player, a guy who actually gets a lot of women. And he may be at a phase where he's like, look, I'm just doing my thing, and I'm gonna come through when I'm ready, and I'll be gone. And then I might come through back and all this other stuff. Right. But what I'm saying is that when the guy who's a player, right, actually wants to and chooses to, right, focus his attention on being more consistent with a particular woman because he sees some potential in her to be part of his program, right? He's going to appreciate you more than the average guy. Because for the average guy, you are an idea. To the player, you're actually a person because he doesn't need the idea of you, because he can get the idea of you, which is he can get women. The other guy who can get women is still trying to get women. The player can get women, so therefore now he can see you. He can see who you are. He's not pressed on the fact, he's not impressed that a woman is attracted to him. He's already past that. You understand what I'm saying? So what happens is that when you're in the presence of an attractive man that you know lots of women are attracted to, and he decides to give you the time of day and then decides to be consistent with you, understand that that guy appreciates you more than the guy who off the rip is love bombing you and telling you how awesome you are and calling you every 5 minutes of the day because he's just excited to have a woman, versus the guy who, y'all get together, you might get a drink, or two or whatever, get to fill each other out a little bit, but he's not pressing you. He's not putting you on a pedestal or anything yet. Right? But he's still interacting with you because he's seeing what it is with you. Right? You got to understand the difference. See, ladies, your ego is going to make you miss the guy who actually appreciates who you are as an individual. Because your ego a lot of times wants your ego wants to feed you this idea that if a man really cared, he would drop everything and do everything for you from the jump. But those are the guys who don't really got it together. Those are the guys who are the average dudes, because they're praising you because they're praising the idea of you. They're praising you because they're thirsty to have a woman. Whereas the guy who's the player isn't praising you because you're a woman, right? He's actually giving you the opportunity to be consistent with him if he's consistent with you. But the reason why he's going to even be consistent with you is because he sees some sort of benefit to dealing with you. And when I say you, I'm talking about you as an individual, not the idea of you being a woman, because he's past that. He doesn't need you for that, whereas the other guy does. So your ego likes the other guy, the average guy who's going to shower you with gifts on the first date or the first week of knowing you and giving you all this attention. But understand the reason why he's doing that is because he has the scarcity mindset. He is the type of guy that doesn't have experience with women. So he wants to do his best to impress you so that you will stick around, so that he can feel like he has a woman. But it doesn't have anything to do with you. It could be any other woman. And he's just all in love because he's in love with the idea of having the woman. Whereas the player is the only one who has the experience to actually give a fuck about you for you. You understand? And the reason why he can do that is because he has no problem leaving you at any moment. And see, that's what sounds scary. But the fact that he has no problem leaving you at any moment only increases the benefit of the fact that he's deciding to deal with you. Whereas the other guy, you can be the bitchiest of bitches to this guy and he'll still stick around. Why? Because he's scared to lose you. So he'll allow you to disrespect him. He'll allow you to do whatever, and he'll still be there because he has no choice, or he feels he has no choice. You understand? So I just want you ladies to understand that guys who are players, guys who are ladies' men, have the experience to actually appreciate you. You understand? Now, I'm not saying that the average guy can't. I'm saying that generally the average guy is more so appreciating or feeling satisfied with the idea of having a woman. You understand? Whereas the player, if he decides to fuck with you, right, appreciates you as an individual because he doesn't need a woman.